Hello everybody, Toby here with another Stratego game analysis. This is game number 9 of our mystery player series with the flag up front. And we are 8-0 going into game 9. So let's see who we're playing. We're playing a bronze major 235 with almost 500 level wins losses. So this could be a little bit of a reckless player. Could be a lottoer. So let's get going, see if we can win game number 9. Let's go right to the game. Okay. Whoop. Alright, I moved up and over. I must have went first. This player moved here. I think I played slow in this game. I must have been tired. Or maybe I was just trying not to lose. Sometimes you try too hard. The stats tell you you're probably going to lose at least probably 12 to 15% of the games playing with the flag on either A4 or J4. I think if you play lower ranked players like in the 100 to 300 level range, you'll lose probably somewhere 15 to 18% of the time because they will fire up their scouts. So usually this is a high piece with low level players, but that was just a lieutenant. I'm tempted to bring up my marshal, but it's too early. This is always a good spot for a major or colonel. Captain as well. So that's good. We get a captain. I'm still not used to playing with a major on an island like all by itself here. I have to learn how to play better. Probably have to attack more. Remember, low level players, they don't really take bluffs well. You're better off attacking instead of bluffing. I bluff way too much against low level players. I just love bluffing. See, I'm playing very defensively. Normally I try to clear this column until I hit a bomb. I'm checking the player again. He didn't lotto. He's attacking with his captains and lieutenants, but he didn't lotto. Probably should have hit this piece with this to see what it was. Now I'm trying to move up and clear this column. See, when a player has so many spaces like this, it's hard to keep track of what to hit, what is moved, and what is not moved. So that's really great. I love that when you have a bomb here and a flag here. That's just, I can play basically a normal game now. I should not remove this bomb. But now we got to go find, playing a normal game means trying to find the marshal, basically. That's my goal. I'm a counter-attack player, and for me, it's try to find the marshal and try not to lose a lot of pieces doing it, and then have a counter-attack plan ready. Since I'm actually leading in this game, a captain and a lieutenant, I can sacrifice a captain and a lieutenant to find information. See, that's what most beginners don't know how to do. They don't know how to trade pieces for information. It's okay to get behind as long as you find some valuable information. And then you have to use that information to make a plan to do it all over again. So now this was great. I found the marshal. Now he's in a lot of trouble now. And this was kind of a mistake, taking a lieutenant. Maybe it was due to his setup. He knew this was a lieutenant. So why didn't this piece take it? Why didn't this piece take it? This is a bomb, so that's why that didn't take it. But you have to ask yourself, why didn't this piece take it? Now, it could be a scout or a sergeant, but then why didn't this piece take it? It could be a spy. So maybe he was forced to take me if this was a spy. Maybe I should look what this piece is later at the game. I'm not sure what it was. But then that's bad, because that forces the marshal to take, if this is a bomb and this is a spy, that means the marshal has to take whatever comes up here. And most top players will not reveal a marshal for a lieutenant. They won't even reveal a marshal. A lot of them won't do it even for a major. Now, I would take I would reveal my marshal for a major, but the top players, they would only, probably in the beginning of the game, they probably would only take a colonel or a general. So now the problem is when you reveal your marshal, and I wrote an article on it. I'll put a link in the below here, the game link or the video link. And the problem is now he has to play defense, because any piece he's moved, my general can now attack. And then when you reveal your marshal, if you can't get there, then you have to reveal your general to play defense to stop a general counterattack. So he gets on the defensive, and then it allows me to create all sorts of offensive plans. So now we got to try to figure out what we want to do. I have to find some targets. You want to find colonels, majors, captains, and target them with your general. So this was a bomb, and that's why this didn't take the lieutenant. And that'd be interesting to see what this piece was. Was it a scout, sergeant, or spy? Now, if this wasn't one of those, I wonder what that was. We'll maybe keep a track on that, but I always forget stuff. That was just a bad setup, though. If he had the spy there and it forced the marshal to take a lieutenant, that basically cost you the game. So I don't like my major hanging out here. It's revealed, and it can be in danger. So I think I pull my captain all the way over here to safety. And that was bad. Should never let that happen. What happened here is I didn't protect my bomb, and he scouted my bomb. I should have had a piece here protecting my bomb. When you have a wide open flag anywhere, like if I had a flag here with no bombs around it, and all my bombs are over here, you want to protect them all from scouts, miners, and sergeants. You don't want your bombs to be found out. You want your bombs to be found out by, higher pieces, the generals, the colonels, the majors, the captains. You don't want the lower pieces finding them. That's really not good. The only example is the one exception is this piece here. I want to be found because I want the player to think I'm playing a symmetrical setup and that this is a bomb. So a lot of players do play bomb on the beginning level. So I hope they think this is a bomb. So, but that's very bad to let and this is such a good killer of high pieces. This bomb here, you can kill marshals, generals. Oh, this is a wonderful bomb. I like this bomb. I like this bomb, and I like the corner bomb. These three bombs in these three spots are really good. But that was unfortunate so protect your bombs. It sounds kind of silly, but you don't want scouts finding them or miners or sergeants finding them. So now I got my major safe. But I think the bad news is I lost the marshal. Do you know where the marshal is now? Do you know where my opponent's marshal is? I do this a lot. I always lose the marshal. It's a bad habit. I'm like, is that the marshal? I'm not sure if the marshal is here or is it here. We know that's a bomb. So to be a top player, you have to have a really good memory. And it helps to get some kind of scheme to figure out the open spaces so you know what to hit. So this is good. Now we found the general. So we know where the general is. That's good. So now we better keep a track on the general. And then you wonder the pieces next to it, you want to target them to see if they're the spy. Because a lot of times the spy is next to the general. And it's good to do that on the lower levels. A lot of players will sacrifice, I will do it, sacrificing a marshal with a general. So you better have your spy there. With the marshal over here and the general over here, it's probably a good idea to have the general, my general, come up here and guard the flag. And I can pull back this major. So I want to protect these bombs. This is probably dumb, having two miners here. Another bad setup. I'll get a setup right one day. So this is probably a good piece. It's probably a colonel. We found or a major. We found the marshal. The marshal was somewhere over here, and the general was here. So this is a good shot at being a colonel. This player is probably aggressive because he had a lot of wins and a lot of losses and a lot of games. So they tend to be very aggressive. If they're not lottowers, they're still probably very aggressive. So here I am bluffing. I love bluffing. Okay, there's a scout. And you don't have to sell it full. You don't have to constantly chase them, because sometimes that makes it look like it's like you are bluffing. But I think he believes this is a high piece. And that's the one reason you want to keep your marshal and general hidden for as long as possible, because then any piece becomes a marshal and a general, and you can bluff. Any piece can bluff, and you can hold down these pieces. You can pin these pieces while your top pieces go up and attack. There's so many advantages so now we found the marshal again. So that was good. So now we know the marshal, the general, and we think this is either a colonel or a major. So I have to really concentrate. And I really should start to get my general up here, and maybe even a spy and a major over here. So I was thinking maybe sacrifice the marshal with the general. So he finds a miner. So this is always dangerous. If you go down here, you can get trapped. There's always bombs on the first level. There are lots of bombs. So it was a colonel. So he thinks this is a high piece, and now he's trapped. And you hate to put yourself in this situation. What do you do? Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you go down? Do you attack this piece? Usually when you're playing low-level players, when you're playing beginners, this is going to be the real deal. It's going to be a marshal or a general. So then you're probably going to have to pick one of these three. When you're playing gold level players, maybe some high level silver players, this could be a bluff, and you might want to attack it. That's when you have to use your memory to try to remember where this piece started from, and then maybe that can help you figure out what it might be. But you hate getting yourselves in this situation, because now he has to make a decision, and he lost the colonel to a bomb, but now he thinks this piece is a high piece. He still doesn't know. So I can use my scout, as long as I don't move it as a scout. I can pretend that this is a high piece, like a marshal. He probably thinks this is my marshal, or at least general, or at worst colonel, but he probably thinks it's a marshal. So now what I should do is maybe charge up to his general and see if I can maybe either pin it, which would be okay. So then you take his general out of the game, or maybe I can get a spy to attack my scout. So that's a problem now when a bluff piece becomes super powerful now, because he really believes this is a high piece. And I want to try not to get this piece scouted. But I decided I want to go right away and scare the general because he thinks this is a high piece. And so let's go see if we can find the spy. Hopefully the spy hits me. That's the goal here. And we know this is the marshal, so we can't go here. But he's scared. He realizes, and none of these pieces are the spy, or maybe he doesn't want to trade if he thinks it's my general. So now the goal is to chase the general to the marshal. Now, maybe instead of moving here, I thought about this. Maybe I should have moved my major down, and he still would have come here to this spot, and I would have saved my major. But I decided to just leave it there. I'd sacrifice the major and make it look like I was chasing all the way through. So he still doesn't know what this is. He might think it's a general. But this piece, you know, the bluff piece cost him to lose a colonel and a general. So that's really painful. So that's the dangers. Anytime you start attacking pieces down on the second and first level, you can get trapped. So now with the marshal over here, I can start killing anything that moved over here. The bad part is I don't have any. I have to get some scouts up here. Or a lieutenant. I have to get some low pieces up here. And I have to be careful. I don't want the marshal rushing after my general and then coming down here and attacking the flag. You don't want that to happen either. I have to stay really in this column, so if this is a scout, I don't want him to come here and win the game to find out what that is. I think I was a little bit flustered that I didn't have any scouts or low pieces here to find pieces for my general to attack. And I chased this piece, and here's where I misclick. And that was so dumb. And what happened here, this is a common misclick when I was playing too fast. I was chasing this piece, and I thought for sure this piece was going to come down. I knew where the marshal was, but I thought this piece was going to come down, and I would keep on chasing. And it stopped, and the marshal moved here, and then I you know, that's when you play too fast and you assume what the player is going to do. You shouldn't do that. You should watch what the player does, not assume what the player is going to do. So that cost me a general for a sergeant, which is dumb, but I'm still way ahead. I'm up a colonel and 2 captains, down a major though, up a lieutenant. So, but that was, you know, I always say most beginners play too fast, and I play too fast a lot too, and it costs you. You can lose a lot of games playing too fast. You hate losing a general on a misclick. That's not good. So that was not so good, finding a minor for a scout. I'd say that's a win for my opponent there. I always like doing that. I like to have a minor up front and use it to try to bait a scout, so your opponent wastes a scout on a minor. So I should just start counterattacking with the colonels. I got 2 colonels. He only has 1. And we know where the marshal is. And I should try to target some majors and captains. See, this is very dangerous what I'm doing here. My flag is vulnerable because all he needs to do is bring a scout to here. But the good news is my opponent has a bomb here, and a bomb here, so he probably thinks this is a bomb. And he found this bomb, so he probably thinks this is a bomb, so I don't have to be too concerned. Let's see here. That's always a good tactic here. Scout this, see what it is. See what you get. Oh, that piece moved. So I didn't scout it. I wonder why I didn't scout it. I played this game a long time ago. And it was a captain. I could have got a captain. So that was interesting. So now I'm up 3 captains. Down a major, up 3 captains. And up a colonel. You could almost attack this piece and think it's a sergeant. Usually most players have sergeants behind a bomb. Sometimes people have double bombs. You get to the higher level, they try to trick you. But it's not worth a colonel to hit this piece for a sergeant. I should just go after the marshal with my marshal and swap. When you're ahead, swap. It would be nice to find another major. I haven't found any. Being down a major, you'd like to get one. I think I probably was trying too hard to win, or maybe I was playing not to lose. I have to be careful with my major. He has another colonel. Okay, well, he had another colonel. So now when you have the high piece after the next level, when the marshals are gone, I have a colonel. I need to find a major. I wouldn't mind if he goes down a level so I could trap him. That would be good too. So we can always use a miner as a scout. And this is the most popular spot for a flag. So this is always good to hit. But all his high pieces were over here, so his flag should be somewhere over here. Probably here. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Since this was a bomb and this was a bomb. And this eventually, we'll check this. This was a bomb. So you would think the flag would probably be here. Now this is probably dumb because it's going to be probably a sergeant. I don't think it's a major. And there you go, right? Usually behind a bomb is a... Not sure why he did that. Maybe he wants to go by, but that didn't make sense. He wasted a scout, and I'm happy. So he only has one more scout left, and he's going to lose the sergeant too. So that was just a dumb move. So that's good. He's trying to win the game. He's hoping the flag's in the corner. And that bomb got him. That bomb in the corner is so good. I love bombs in the corner. Like I said, I really like these 3 bombs. The one behind the lake, the one here, and the one here. So now we're even on majors. I wouldn't be surprised if the flag is here. I probably should move a miner up here. That could be the spy. Could be a miner because he does have 3 left. And I think I am trying to bring a miner up that way. I think. Or maybe that's a major he has there, a minor he has there. And this is where I must have been tired in this game. Or it must have been a late game. Because I get caught with a misclick here. I'm moving my marshal up. He moves his marshal up and I move my marshal up. And he takes my colonel. And I'm like, oh no, not again. So now I just that was just being tired, I guess. And I thought he was going to move this down, and he moves his marshal up. And then I move my marshal up, and he gets a colonel. So that's 2 misclicks, cost me a general and a colonel in a game. But the good news is we're even on majors, and I'm still up 3 captains. So we're playing as poorly as can be. I mean, how often can you trade a general for a sergeant and a colonel for free and be competitive? that's So now I should just swap marshals if I can. I really have to find his other major. That's the only thing now You know, because if his marshal, if his a major gets by, he can do a lot of damage here if he lottos. That's a bad part when you have a bomb here and bomb here. You limit your access to the other side. So you can have choke points here. So that's fine. He doesn't have any more captains left. And then he loses a minor, so that's great. And most of the pieces are gone on this side, so my flag is in good position. I'm assuming this is a major. So I don't want him to get my captain. And it sure looks like the flag was here. This is the second most popular spot for a flag. Either 4 over from the left or 4 over from the right. D10 and I guess it's G10. So now it looks like I have his major pinned, and he tries to get by, and that's, like I said, it's a choke point there when you have a bomb here. So now he's going to lose this piece. That was a mistake, and that was a really painful mistake. He loses a spy. That was just terrible on his part. He needed a spy. So this was a bomb. So now he must have looked at the graveyard and sees that it's basically over. He only has lottoing left. And that's the one huge advantage when you have a flag and they come in late to lotto. They're usually never going to lotto this. They're always going to come to these 2 rows. I have lots of bombs. Now it's pinned. Hits the bomb. And it's time to surrender. So we played longer than what we should. I should have wrapped this up a lot earlier, being up a general and a colonel. But it looks like we're going to get the win. I hope he doesn't run the buffer out. I'm checking it out, and he finds... Oh, and that's another thing. When you win 9 in a row, it tells you you won 10 in a row. Ta-da! But that's an error on their site. I don't know if they fixed it yet. But, so it tells me I've won 10 in a row. But this was game 9, so we've won 9 in a row. So, but that's still pretty good with the flag up front. Because I said you're going to lose, on the lower levels, you should lose somewhere around 15% of the time. 15 to 18% of the time. To maybe even 15 to 20% of the time. Because they like scouting the sides for whatever reason. Players like 300, 400, 500 ELO, they tend to walk up their scouts. But anyway, that was pretty good. We had our best moment here when we had that super bluff. This was great, bluffing the colonel. So that was good. And then not only did we bluff the colonel, but we came up and bluffed the general. So that was really good. But then we had our 2 misclicks here. Let's see, where was it? Where's my general here? Where was it? It was already early on. Here it is, right there. That was pretty bad. The misclick. So you gotta wait till the person stops. Keep your hand off the mouse. And I was ready to go, and I was like, oh darn it. And that was a good play on his part. I like that, to jump in front. And then he got the misclick with the kernel here when maybe I was falling asleep. I don't know what I was doing late in the game here. Where was the last kernel? This was just Stratego malpractice here. I just fell asleep and boom, another misclick. But we wound up surviving to get the victory, so that was pretty good. Remember, bombs in the corners, very effective. So that's it for this game. We'll work on game number 10, see if we can really win 10 in a row with the flag up front. And I think our ELO, let's see, 9, I think we probably got 12 points for this, 90. I have to see what it was. We're probably in the 200s now. Yeah, I would think so. 9 games, we'd get 90 points. And 18, maybe we're like 208, something like that. So we're moving up, 9 in a row. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.